All right, we're here with another one of our athletes who has just recently completed his training program. So Caleb, why don't you introduce yourself, tell them what your sport, your age, all that good stuff, and what you've been dealing with.
So hi everyone, I'm Caleb Moore. I play Florida Rush MLS Next. I recently just won a state championship. It's exciting. I tore my ACL back in April, had surgery in May, and the first 4 months were really tough. But I got my boy Zach over here, and he got me right. He got me back.
So we started training, like you said, around like the kind of 4-month mark and stuff like that. Where were you when we first started? I know in your other rehab process, you struggled a lot with like range of motion and that sort of thing. And where would you say you are today, like back playing, everything like that? How do you feel now?
So when I first started the rehab process, my knee was too swollen to even do like the pre-surgery stuff. So my knee wouldn't let me bend at all. And so when I got into rehab, like after month 3, I was just sitting at like about barely 100 degrees range of motion when I should be at 130 by that point. So it was really tough. And then I got to you, and it's just a non-traditional way of things that really worked. Like it really helped me. And so it got me like within like 2 or 3 weeks, I got that full range of motion. And like to now, like I'm more flexible now than I was before I started my rehab process. Like it's to the point where I don't feel pain that I used to feel before my injury.
That's awesome. Yeah. How have you felt playing wise, like getting back on the field? I know you got back around like the 8-month mark, which is a little soon. But like, how have you felt mentally, physically, like everything like that?
The first 2 weeks were definitely tough. I mean, I knew I needed to get back out there. Obviously, with the time of the injury, recruiting and stuff like that, I needed to get back out there. I was ready to get back out there. Obviously, you wouldn't put me out there too soon or anything. But it was just the mental aspect. Like after I got by my first of everything again, it's like I'm going through everything again for the first time. After I headed the ball again, after I jumped, after I tackled, everything slowly back. And now I feel like I'm not even missing a beat. So I'm slowly getting better and better every day.
That's amazing. Compared to where you were before the injury in terms of strength, speed, fitness, just comfort level on the ball, everything like that, where would you say you are today?
Comfort level on the ball, I'm definitely I'd say I'm like 95% back, 90% back. It's obviously just the taking people on piece that's slowly coming back to me. Strength wise, I'm at 95 of what I was, like tackling wise, but that's going to come. That's not even strength. That's just mental. That's the mental side of it. And I'd say speed wise, I was never really the fastest player, and I'm back to where I was before. So I'd say that I'm 100% back to speed, if not 95, 90% again. And the goal is just to keep getting faster.
Amazing, dude. So. Amazing. What, if anything, can you think of like from our training process and stuff like that that's maybe contributed to where you're at now? You talked about us doing things a little bit differently. Is there anything that you felt like you noticed was really, really helpful?
So the floss bands, actually. So when I first came here, it's this red band that he shows all over his Instagram page that for me, I hated it. I felt like it was a crutch. I felt like it was just me like needing help to get all the range of motion. And as I got more and more into it, I'd warm up with the floss band, and then I'd be stronger after using it. And I use it before every game because it's good to use even with athletes that haven't hurt their knee before. That's what I'd say is it's not, you don't normally just cut circulation off and then just start pounding it, but it just works. Like it just makes it to where you don't feel pain and you break up the scar tissue.
100%,
like that was
magic.
Yeah.
Magic. Like, all right, dude, you touched on the kind of mental side of things, can be one of the biggest challenges with injuries that people don't really talk about. Like obviously you have to come back physically, like get back to where you were, but also just mentally, like getting back to that confidence, getting back to the speed of the game and everything like that. How have you felt you've made that transition? Like as you've gotten back into stuff, have you felt like you've struggled with kind of fear or uncertainty as you've got back into stuff, or have you felt fairly confident? Just touch on that a little bit.
Like I said, it just slowly, like I've had to slowly progress back into things. Now I'm not scared to do anything. But
the first slowly, dude, you started freaking 8 months.
I know. And I'll click out of nowhere. Like it was like, I was just slow. Like we didn't know when I was going to get back. And then out of nowhere, I was like, bang, my knee just was ready. Like it told me but mentally, like when I was going, I started playing again. I came back a month early. I guess that weighed on my mind a little bit, like not physically, like I physically knew I was ready, but mentally it's just like, you don't know because you don't want to do it again. But then the more I thought about it is if I go into a tackle thinking I don't want to do this again, I'm probably going to do it again. I had to go in as soon as I got that first tackle where I hit someone to the floor and I got the ball back. I'm like, okay, I'm back. I can do it again. And then from there, it's just been like slowly, like I'll hit someone harder next time, harder. And then now I'm at the point where it's like I'll hit someone and I don't even feel it.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
that's awesome. Think back to kind of some of those early days when you first just were found out that you'd gotten hurt and stuff like that. Like, what would you tell either your younger self, who's just experiencing that, or somebody in a similar situation? Like, what kind of advice would you give to them who's feeling a little lost, not really sure, like kind of next steps, like what to do and things like that? Like any advice going forward?
So when I first tore it, actually, it's kind of a sad but funny story at the same time. On the field, my knee locked, and so they couldn't move it. My leg muscle is what it was now. My knee the muscles were so tense and strong they couldn't move my knee. So the trainer on the field was like, I think it's a meniscus injury. I don't think it's anything more than that. Maybe a little sprain of your MCL. Go to the ER. Doctor says it's not moving. Like I don't think it's ACL. So I'm like, okay, like that's fine. That's like 3 months ish. Like I can deal with that. And then I found out. I went to Dr. Burkhart. Really great surgeon. Recommend him to anyone. He moved my knee. Just moved it once because my knee swelling had gone down a week later. Moved my knee. ACL, just out of nowhere. So I had no idea the whole time. I'm thinking I'll be out for 3 months, get a quick surgery, just rehab real quick, and I'll be back out there. I heard ACL, and I just broke down. Me and my mom together, we just broke down to tears. I've never had an injury before, so this was my first one. It sucks, and then we told my mom, we talked about it. We said after the first week, we're gonna give ourselves a week to sob. We're gonna give ourselves a week to cry about it. Then after that first week, we're just gonna go kick butt. We're gonna do whatever we can to get me back. And so it started out with physical therapy, just trying to get everything back. And then I guess I would tell myself that there's going to be days where it sucks. There's going to be days where your knee doesn't want to doesn't want to do what it wants to do normally. And you just have to just trust that it's going to happen. Like that's what the floss bands are for. That's what the deep squats are for. That's what stretching's for. Like stretch every day. That's the big thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love that. And then anything else in particular for people that are maybe looking at kind of the stuff that we've done, like you said, that little bit unconventional like approach to training and to building back and that sort of thing? Like any kind of comments on that or any advice or anything like that you would give somebody who's thinking about something like this? Yeah.
So honestly, when I first looked into it, I had a friend who came to you before, obviously Donovan, who I met, and he told me about you. I wasn't sure because obviously like you hear some things online, you're like, I don't know about this. It's very unconventional. Physical therapists don't know too much about it, so they're not too much into it. And then I did research and I was like, you know what, like let's give it a consultation. Let's see what I feel about the consultation. And the vibes are just immaculate. You know that you could tell that he wants you to just get better. Like he just really wants to help. He doesn't just want to take the money and run. Like he got me back early. If I didn't get back early, I would have stayed a couple more months. He wants you to get better. And the unconventional side of things really pushes your limits to the point where you got to break the tissue to build the tissue, right? So that's kind of how I think about it. Just come give it a consultation, come give it a chance, and it really helps for me at least.
I love it, dude. I love it, dude. Any last thoughts, comments you want to leave people with, kind of going back home?
Just watch out. I'm coming, and if you're going through it, just go talk to someone. It really helps. Don't just bottle up. It's not. Just go talk to someone about your knee because there's been a lot of people that go through it. There's stuff all over the internet for it. So yeah.
I love it, dude. I appreciate you being kind of a role model and stuff like that. Helps make it easier for people. So
of course, man. You did. Thanks, man.
Absolutely.